Paula and Kyle, the right to vote is one of our most fundamental as Americans. But the new report by Kentucky Secretary of State Michael Adams shows many people don't know how the government works or who's representing them when they do vote. Now, here's a couple quick questions for you to test your civics knowledge. If the president and vice president are both unable to serve as president, who fills that role? The idea of self-government is in the first three words of the Constitution. What are those three words? And lastly, how many members of Congress are there? I'll have those answers in just a minute. Now, Secretary of State Adams says that Kentucky is one of only a handful of states that has no formal K-12 civics education, and he says it should be required before graduation.
It's really important that we have a dedicated civics course in every Kentucky high school. I think it's also important that we have a test that requires civic knowledge that is at a 12th grade level for 12th grade students to take and to pass before they enter into the world. And I think if we do those things, it's a good starting point to at least catch us up where other states are in America with their voters being better informed.
So let's take a look. Only 5 out of 10 respondents could name all three branches of government, which are the legislative, executive, and judicial. Only 53% could name Kentucky senators, Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul, and only 44% could name a legislator who represents them. Secretary of State Adams tells me that there's been a focus on politics in Washington, not at home.
It's easier for Kentuckians to name some member of Congress from another state than it is for them to know who their own mayor is or their own school board members. And that's totally backwards.
Now, here's a look at some of the other findings of this report. It shows local news is trusted at 62%. That's the highest of any source. Now, fewer than 1 in 5 trust social media for their news source, and more than half say that they talk politics with their friends and family a few times each week. Now, let's get to those answers. The Speaker of the House is third in line to the presidency if the president and VP are both incapacitated somehow. The first three words of the Constitution are "We the people," and finally, there are 535 members of Congress, 100 in the Senate, and 435 in the House of Representatives. Paula, back to you.
You can always find our stories here on YouTube, but go ahead and tap subscribe. That way you're always in the know.